welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
And I am your beer stein holding champion, baby. Brought it home for the DLG. I know you guys don't know what's going on, but my brother flew in today to San Diego. He had like an hour. And we met at Ballast Point. And they told us, hey, there's a beer stein holding competition in an hour. Do you guys want to do it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. So there's no beer in it. It's just water. It's got to weigh, I don't know, 3 pounds, 4 pounds maybe. I don't know, something like that. And you just hold it out in front of you. You know, it's Oktoberfest, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I crushed the competition. It wasn't even close. Like even after it was, I mean, look at me compared to everybody else. It's just like I'm big.
Everybody's just more out of shape than you.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it was cool. It was a nice ego boost. But I knew I was going to win.
Yeah, it's awesome. Look at your forearms compared to everybody else.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it doesn't.
So fucking strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. And there's more guys to the right. And one guy that was all Oktoberfest out, you know, like wearing green. Like, what is that? What is that?
Lederhosen?
Lederhosen?
Lederhosen.
Yeah. He was in the whole getup and stuff. And he came in second place, but he worked there. And then my brother, right next to me, came in third place, who's 54. And all these young guys, yeah, it didn't work out for them.
Number 5 or number 2?
Number 5 is my brother.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Oh.
Just saying, number 2 looks like a young 54-year-old.
Yep.
That's the youngest 54-year-old I've ever seen in my fucking life.
For the audio listeners, we're looking at a photo.
There we are.
Yes.
So when someone says, hold my beer, watch this, then you're the guy to hold the beer.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Dude, it was weird. It was like within, I don't know, 45 seconds, guys are shaking and stuff. I started talking. It's like video game shit talking, you know. Bro, can I get some fries with my shake, bro? Bro, dude, you're getting me. And then the water splashing all over the place. A little shit talking can get you a long, like, it can be the difference between, like, a close victory and a landslide. It really can. You get in their head. Anyway, it was fun.
All right.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, Oktoberfest. They recently had that. Where did you go out here?
Ballast Point
But we here in Chula Vista?
in San Diego by the airport.
Oh, okay.
Well, there's more than one Ballast Point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do a huge festival back where I grew up, that part of San Diego, and they do it right on the street where I have my piano lessons. So it's always like a real hassle getting there. But yeah, I had some great times when I was younger at Oktoberfest.
Al Cajon came up at work because the guy that I work with lived in Al Cajon, and he moved to Julian, Alpine, the next town over.
Yeah.
He's like, I had to move out of that place. It became such a shithole so quickly.
Well, it actually always was a shithole. So I don't know what he's talking about.
He's like 20 years older than you, so.
Yeah, still a shithole.
Yeah, Bobby grew up in, I would say, the worst neighborhood.
Oh, no, it gets worse.
It gets worse.
Yeah, Lakeside? Are you kidding me, dude?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, people are fucking cows out there. All right. Anyway, sorry, Lakeside
Jesus
fans.
Christ.
People who live in Lakeside.
Sorry if you live in Lakeside.
Anyway, video games. So let's talk about some video
Not
games.
the
that are
anti-Lakeside podcast.
I spent a lot of great times out in Lakeside. Not fucking cows, but still great times. So
Just cow-shaped women.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't want to disparage.
Jesus Christ.
Disparage Lakeside. So on the radar, games that have come to our attention this week, they have Steam Next Fest that was happening this week.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot
What
of
is
demos
that?
being shoveled out, a lot of new games. And interesting enough, a lot of games got release dates. So one of those was Succubus. So this is a game that I talked about a while ago. It is made by the same studio that made this game called Agony, which was kind of a puzzle walking simulator through the depths of hell that looked really interesting. I played it, got horrible reviews, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. It was different. Succubus is kind of the sequel or an offshoot of it where there's more action and combat. The demo's out there. I've already played it. I played it when they first released it, like months ago, I believe. It needed some work. The game was a little janky here and there, and the combat it needed some polish. And honestly, I don't know when the full game is released and like I could play more of it, it might be a little bit better, but it didn't seem that great. But that now has a release date of October 5th, which is right around the corner here.
A lot of games coming out in October. It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Um,
usually it's November for that, but cool.
I remember you playing the original one, and then I guess they're using a lot of their same assets, right? And just made a different game with it.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, using the
graphically
same
very similar.
assets.
Hey, hey. But the Succubus is a character in Agony, and in this game you play as her. So you're playing as the bad guy. And it's I don't know, it's like a I think when I played the demo months ago, I said it's like a bad version of Doom.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't like a lower budget version of Doom.
It's really hard to do melee first person. It just hardly ever feels right. It, you know what I mean? Melee
Yeah,
let's name some
wait.
good ones like Mordhau and that kind of stuff. But besides that, like
Yeah, it's not really Doom. It's more like a PvP, like rock, paper, scissors kind of thing. Like Doom, like running fast and jumping and slashing. Yeah, it's confusing and kind of throw uppy if you think about it.
Anyway, I don't have high hopes for this.
Yeah, I don't know what the price tag is on this. I think Agony worked better because it was like kind of an adventure survival puzzle game. I think that's a much better fit for the hellish landscape. A lot of times when you have such an interesting setting like that, and then you make it a first-person shooter or brawler game, then nobody focuses on the atmosphere. You know,
Yeah.
they're just plowing through the enemies.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not super high hopes for this. May just, I'd say I'd wait for the reviews, but I know the reviews are going to be terrible anyway.
Yeah. But a little shout out to Succubus and their
Yeah.
and I was proud of them for doing like didn't they fucking have some pretty extreme shit in there?
Very extreme,
Mhm.
like eating fetuses
Yeah.
for health.
Yeah.
Like all those pretty edgy
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
the reviews, like I said, for Agony were terrible too, and I still enjoyed that game. So I don't know. This still might be something that I'm interested in. but-
Somebody's got to be pushing the envelope. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, things get crazier and crazier every year, but there's always something for somebody, right?
Yep. All right, moving on. Marvel's Avengers, which is something I was never going to pick up because it didn't get very good reviews, but it's coming to Game Pass, and I know that they've been working on it because you get a gigantic IP like fucking Marvel Avengers. There's so much goddamn money behind that. And you put out a product that, it was maybe a little subpar. A lot of the bad reviews were based on, I remember, because they didn't use the likenesses and voices of the people from the movies, which sounded super unfair. Like, you just can't do that. But, the money didn't run out. So they just kept working on it. And I hear it's a pretty good game now. But, they have new characters like Black Panther. And there was one other one that I noticed that wasn't in the original. But, it's a work in progress, and hopefully it's in a good spot. Once it comes to Game Pass, it's a nice time to figure out whether or not it's a good game or not. So, yeah. I'll be playing it.
I mean, if it's on Game Pass, why not, right?
Why not?
Games aren't always like the worst games.
Good
Have
spot
you
for it.
have you been watching What If?
I have, dude. It's wow. That last episode
you
is
caught
fucking
up?
so good. Yeah, that last episode
Man,
is.
so good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spoil anything for any of the watchers, but for those who have not been watching What If, definitely watch it if you're a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
Do you not know what If is, Chris? It's
Nope.
so there's a multiverse in the Marvel universe or multiverse, and What If is supposed to explore these hypothetical situations that exist in the multiverse. Like, what if the first episode is, what if Captain America never becomes Captain America, and instead
His
the
girlfriend
British
does.
scientist becomes Captain Britain, essentially, and it diverges the story completely, and essentially the guy who become Chris Rogers becomes Iron Man, or a version of Iron Man, and all these things change, and you would get to these really crazy, exponentially different stories, and it all kind of revolves around this main character known as the Watcher, and he is the Watcher of the multiverse, and he's like, he can see all possibilities and all different endings and beginnings of every story ever, and he sees and reads all these different stories, and it's really cool.
He's the presenter of the episodes. He can't interact. He's not part of the story. He just like, hey, check this out because it's
Yeah,
cool.
he literally has one rule, and he cannot interact with mortals at all.
Yeah, it's good. The animation is really good. It's good American animation. You know, so much is like Japanese inspired these days, and I mean, as cool as it was, you get kind of tired of it. It's good. Like it definitely has its own American look to it. Yeah, it doesn't remind me of any other animation.
All right.
Yeah. So as far as what I got on the radar, I have Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters, and it's been on the radar before, but they just came out with a new trailer showing the gameplay for the game, and people are kind of shocked that they're following the previous game as far as gameplay, where it is a turn-based kind of XCOM-esque game, which a lot of Warhammer 40K games are going the way now. In the game, you play as the Grey Knights. You're facing against the forces of Nurgle, which are like the poison guys and zombies and stuff. The last Chaos Gate game was very much accepted and loved by a lot of people. And people are very excited for this game because not only do you have like the board game kind of esque gameplay of like moving your characters around, but you also have like ship gameplay where you can like buff up your characters and improve your ship. And then you also have like other aspects of improving your characters. It's not just like, oh, go on these missions, kill these guys. There's also like improve your ship, improve your characters, improve your armor, improve your economy, like all these other things, like improve the galaxy.
Definitely
There's
XCOM with a 40K
multi-layers.
skin on it, right?
Hmm?
It's XCOM with a 40K skin on it for sure.
Pretty much,
Which
yeah.
is not a bad thing, dude. That's like
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's good for fans.
Yeah. If you like 40K or if you just like turn-based games and you just need something new, I probably suggest picking this up.
Cool.
So, that's it.
Bobby.
All right. So another game that got a release date was Starship Troopers Terran Command. Now, a long time ago, maybe over a year ago, I had brought this game up because I was reading Starship Troopers for the first time, and I was interested in what video games existed in that universe. And I saw this, and I thought, an RTS, that's a perfect fit for Starship Troopers.
Absolutely.
I put this game on my wish list, and then I started researching it a little bit, and pretty much what I heard is everybody said the game was never going to be complete. Like the developers had given up on it. So I actually took it off my wish list and I just kind of forgot about this game, but apparently it is coming out and rather soon too. It's an RTS game set in the world of Starship Troopers. It's coming out March of 2022, the very end of March. So it's a little ways away, but still kind of interested in this one. They got the demo that you can download right now and check out. I have not done that yet, but I might do that this week.
And this isn't I don't think it's an RTS like fucking StarCraft or anything where you're playing against other people, right? There's more of the defensive.
Yeah,
one,
I think
right?
so. I
Where
think
I think you have to keep your base alive.
Yeah.
I think so.
Kind of like Conan Unconquered.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure there, but yeah.
It would make more sense, right?
I don't know if you can play as the bugs.
Yeah. Maybe in the
What are they
DLC.
officially called in the book in the movie? Are they just called bugs or what are they called?
You read the book, right?
Yeah.
I want to say it's bugs, man.
I think it is bugs.
Yeah, and then you got the
Like they have to have like a canonical name. They can't just be called the fucking bugs.
Well, the book isn't. Is it the book that's super serious? Yes, the book
Yeah.
that's serious.
Yeah,
right?
the book is super serious, and then the movie is a satire of the book. Because
Yeah.
it's like, isn't the book essentially like a just giant fascist book?
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I don't know. I
And
feel like
then
there was
Chad, it wasn't Chad like this book's amazing.
No, Chad.
He's
Yeah,
like, the movie
Chad,
did it no justice.
it's Chad's favorite book, and he hated the movie, and I love the movie.
Yeah, you're supposed to love the movie because it's supposed to poke fun at the book.
Yeah. God, I feel like there is an actual name for the bugs though.
Well, they can fuck.
And
off
there's
then.
different kinds of bugs. I don't know. We'll figure that out. All right. What else we got?
So I played a couple of demos from this demo fest. What is it called? Next Fest.
Next Fest.
Yeah, I played. So I typed out best demos on Steam, and of course PC Gamer put together a list. And the top of the list, I don't think they were in order, but top of the list was XO1. The demo is called Prologue, so XO1 Prologue. There's a subreddit called First Brand New Sentences. And as I was thinking how I'm going to describe this game, I was like, there's no way this is not going to be a brand new sentence. So it's like a mix of Flappy Bird, Tribes, and Abzu. Yeah. So the Tribes part comes from the gliding on surfaces. So you want to your only controls are double jump, glide, and make yourself heavy. That's it. So that's all you have. And if you make yourself heavy at the crest of a hill, so just when you're getting over a hill, and you hit that downward slope, you're going to use that momentum to go further and farther on for your next jump. It's satisfying. It's nice. It's like Abzu because it's largely just a visual delight that you're going through. It's not a whole lot of. It's not going to be like, oh, look at these mechanics. I mean, there's 3 mechanics and that's it. And it's just a nice, relaxing little time. I had a good time with it. I wouldn't buy it, I don't think. But yeah, if you want looking for like a meditative kind of game, there is some challenge to it. Like there's, you got to get up to certain speeds at certain places if you're going to make a certain jump. And if you don't make it, I don't know, you start over, I guess. But yeah, it wasn't bad.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's different. They're for sure 100% different.
Do you give games that like kind of try new shit like this just to try new shit? Do you give them more props than just games that like, for example, Call of Duty that just make the same game, just different flavor text,
or
like
God of
more
War?
props? Like, do you give that way more props than this?
100%, dude. 100%. But I understand why the AAAs don't take risks. Like,
Yeah.
you're putting millions of dollars at risk as opposed to these guys are just putting their time and effort at risk. So
Yeah.
it's a different scale. What I don't like about the industry is, AAA can just straight up steal from the indie, ideas. There's no control over mechanics. You can't put a trademark on a mechanic, or maybe you can, but it doesn't get done.
No, you can. Did you know that the rotary conversation wheel is trademarked by BioWare, and now it's like owned by EA. Like you can't use any kind of resemblance of a rotary wheel conversation wheel like in Mass Effect. Like not like nothing at all can be anything close to it.
There's a few other examples too. What was somebody sat on the trademark for loading the game during a cutscene, and that's why one game had it like 15 years ago, and then you never really saw it again. And also, there's another one that, God, I forgot the name, the Nemesis system. That's trademarked too. So,
well, maybe what I should say is indie developers don't have the time or the money to be setting up these.
Litigation's fucking expensive, man.
Yeah, it's super expensive, especially if you're doing it preemptively. So yeah, it sucks that like somebody's like, oh, this worked and this worked and this worked. Let's make a AAA title out of it. But this is the nature of the business, and it is what it is.
Well, it's interesting that you looked up a list to find the most popular ones, because if you go to the Steam page, at least when they were streaming the games, they would show which demos had the most viewers, and that's what I kind of used to judge popularity. And the first ones were, the highest ones were kind of the ones you expect. There was some like Robin Hood, Sherwood Forest thing or whatever. There was one kind of brawler beat 'em up game that was on top. If we scroll to the top, maybe I can. Yeah, Evil Wizard has been high up there. Yeah, and then the Robin Hood one didn't look very interesting to me. The one that did look interesting, there was also some like settlement survival. It's like a city builder based on Banished. And that kind of looks interesting, but there was no like twist on it, so I didn't bother bringing that one up.
You mean there was a lack of beavers, dude?
There were no beavers.
Are you telling me the beaver fan in you is not happy because there's no beavers?
Well, the whole thing with Beavertown, or whatever that game was called, was Timberborn.
I bet to Beavertown. That's where I got my first SDD.
The thing with Timberborn is they had that vertical building, which I thought was cool. I've never seen that in a city building game, and I still don't know like how exactly that plays out. I have yet to check out the game, but Anyway, the one game I did want to bring up is Diplomacy is Not an Option. Interesting title, by the way. And this is a city builder game as well. But it kind of reminded me, I don't know, something about the look of this game reminded me of Lords of the
Whoa.
Realm 2, which I thoroughly enjoyed. This is a city builder game where you're building your medieval castle and then people try to invade it. So you are holding off the hordes of people with all the defenses that you've created. Kind of a cool idea. It's probably been done before, but just this whole look totally takes me back to Lords of the Realm 2, which is such a great game that I still play that from time to time. I'll load that up on GOG. It's probably on Steam, but that game 100% holds up.
This looks cool. It looks like voxel based. Looks like
Yeah, it
basically
looks like it's made in tabs actually.
like anything
Mhm.
could happen.
Yeah, the
kinda thing.
graphics have those weird kind of blocky
Mm-hmm.
textures to
Yeah.
them, like Tabs does.
And they went with trebuchets over catapults, which is the superior siege weapon, which is good.
I mean, there's catapults.
The
attacking
catapults
the
are on
trebuchets.
offense. Yeah.
Guys, I'm making a joke, guys. Calm down.
So yeah, this one might be worth checking out.
Yeah,
here.
for sure, dude.
Diplomacy is not an option.
And the last demo that we played, I guess we're playing. Oh, you watched them, but you didn't play any of the demos, right, Bobby?
No, I haven't played any of the demos.
So I played Exhausted Man because it looked hilarious, and it kind of was. You play as an exhausted man. It's a fumble.
Is it just a mirror?
It's exactly. It's a fumble core game where you play this guy who can't. He's so tired he can't even lift a limb. So all you can do is kind of like slide around your house. You can lift your butt up, and then you just kind of slither like a snake. Not even that. Like you give yourself one oomph, and then you slide and try to get stuff done. And it's very fumble Corey. Like he will not even reach his arm to grab what you need to grab. You need to get his body into position where his hand is close enough to something so you can pick it up. Like there's no reaching for shit. Maybe that made it look like it was, but as far as I could tell, there's no. And so all you could do is like switch directions, and pretty much and you have this energy bar. And it goes up and down depending on how much you're doing. And funny enough, like if you just stop, your energy comes back and you could give yourself another oomph. But when I was playing, I was getting so into the goddamn mechanics, getting frustrated that I wasn't watching my energy meter, and my guy would just fall asleep randomly, and I would lose all my progress. What I really liked about this game, as weird as it sounds, so I just picked things off of a list. There was just arbitrary things, lights, food, knife, whatever, and I put them into this list. And then the game took that list and then turned it into a level. So I had to. My left shoe had to be lit up. I had to meditate, and I had to. Trying to remember the other things. I had to hold the cube, and I had to elevate my foot at least 1 foot above the floor. I know it sounds weird, right? And I thought, oh, I just do these things and then I win the level. No, you have to do them all simultaneously.
Oh, jeez.
So I
Oh,
picked up.
fuck.
So I picked up the cube, turned on the light, climbed up the wall. And then so I had 3 of them done. My foot was lit. I was holding the cube, and I was elevated because you stick to walls like a spider. And then I was like, "How do I meditate?" And funny enough, while I was thinking, my guy was just like doing nothing, and he meditated supposedly, and I won the level. And then the next one. So these aren't pre-constructed levels. What I'm trying to say is, you arbitrarily pick things, and then it makes this level out of it, or these challenges, and then you have to do them all. So I think there's kind of some replay value there. It's cute, whatever. If this is over $10, it'd be crazy. But it's definitely funny. Like I laughed out loud a few times. So
Would
it's
you
good.
play this if it was like Octodad, where it's like $4.99, but like in 2 years, as it gets crazier and crazier, it's like $30?
It could be, dude. It could be that we're seeing the AAA fucking exhausted man in 5 years from now.
This guy moves like a snake,
He does.
or like he's doing the worm.
He is doing the worm. Yeah. No, That's too much. That's too much energy, dude. He is scooting. He's scooting his butt forward. Yeah.
Weird game.
Weird game, but pretty funny.
All right. Okay, let's talk about some games that we did play. I guess I'll kick it off here with Loop Hero. I played this week. I played a lot of it, as a matter of fact. It's a good game. It's not a great game. So you played this before, right, Emilio?
Yeah.
When it came out.
It's original, I thought.
It's original, and I really give it credit for that. So the basic gameplay loop is a gameplay loop. You send your character in a loop. You set up things along the loop, like resources that he can collect, or things that will heal him, or enemies that he'll fight and will also give him resources. And then you also manage your equipment while you're doing that. So the more things you put down, the more difficult it becomes, but you also get more rewards. And then eventually there can be a boss there. But you're also collecting resources to build this town outside of this gameplay loop. Which gives you more benefits. It's a really interesting game. And when it first loads up, it says Game Maker Studio. So when I saw that, I thought, okay, this is some guy, very small team probably that made this game. And it's pretty impressive in that regard because it's such an innovative idea. It always impresses me when I see something like that because Game Maker Studio, that means anybody could have made this game.
Yeah, kind of like Risk of Rain.
Yeah.
That was probably their number one.
Game Maker Studio mean? I don't know what that means.
Game Maker Studio, it's just like some software that you can get to make games, and it has there's a lot of programs out there like that, like RPG Maker, that have a lot of tools and assets available for you to make games, but it's not like building
royalty free.
Well, I think you pay for the software, but it's not like building something in like Unity or like it doesn't require a lot of advanced programming to be able to do it. You don't have to know Python or something.
Generally, it comes with assets that you can use.
Yeah, and it's like click and drag or pretty simple stuff. Yeah. You don't have to code a game yourself. I'm not familiar with Game Maker Studio, so I can't speak to that level of knowledge about it, but I assume it's like that.
It's the Squarespace of video game.
Yeah, I kind of like that. So yeah, that impressed me. But then again, this game, it does get a little grindy at parts. Like it's very slow and you're just kind of waiting. I wish the battles would play it a little sooner. A few things that I had a problem with that are minor complaints, very easily fixable. The game has a legibility problem. It has this CRT screen filter and also this horrendous text that is difficult to read.
But you can fix them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can fix both of these in the options. It's not really a big deal. That and the game has a lot of dialogue. There's a story here, and it's kind of interesting at first. I started paying attention to it first. This guy's recreating memories, and when you place things down along your loop, that's him remembering something. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's kind of cool, and it plays into it. But does this ever happen to you when you're playing a game and there's like a dialogue window, the character pops up, there's like a text dialogue and you're like, okay, you read it. All right. And then this person pops up and he says this and you read that and you're like, okay. And for a while you stick with that. And then finally you're just like, you know what? Skip all. This game does have a skip all button. And then it goes boop, 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 boop. And you see like 15 dialogue windows pop up and you're like, oh my God, thank God I skipped all this, dude. Was I really going to sit through all that? Yeah, this game has a ton of story. Don't know what it's about. Skipped it all. So thank you for the skip all button. That's cool. But still, I mean, pretty good game. Like I admire the innovation. But the game itself, like it didn't. I've been playing some really hot ones lately. Like Slay the Spire, and what was the other one? Like Turmoil. Like some games that I've had to really struggle to not go back to. So playing this one, I was just a little cold on. Like it was good, like okay, cool, but it's not. It was not very clear, which is not really a problem with the game. But it took me a long time to figure out how to optimize certain things. Like okay, I build the rocks here, I build these, they make a mountain, and then I build this item, and then I put the fields next to it, and then you find the synergies and all this stuff, and it
doesn't hold your hand for any of that.
No, you have to figure all this out, or you have to look it up on the internet and just figure out. Like to beat the first boss was actually very difficult. I put like 15 hours into this game this week, and the first 5 of that, I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was going about it all wrong.
Yeah, because it's Well, your preconceived notions on how to play a game don't really apply here. You're putting obstacles in your own way so that your character can grow. But if you do that too much, you're going to die and
Yeah.
fail.
But there's also some things that just are not clear and you have to figure out by trial and error. And these games take a long time. Like one game, it depends on how much stuff you build because that's what makes your timer go up and eventually brings the boss about is how many times you play cards. I didn't realize that for a long time too, because it never told me that. Eventually I figured out, oh, the more cards I play, the more I see the overall timer go up. So if you hold off on that for a long time, you get a lot of resources, but you don't fight the boss. So these games can go on. You can have a game that lasts like an hour easily. So, if you're trying to figure things out, like what works best for the warrior character, is vampirism good or is just counter damage good? Like it's really difficult to test that stuff out. Or at least it takes a long time to test that stuff out and to really see what's effective. And by the way, what's most effective on the warrior, I finally figured out is evasion, which seems odd for a warrior.
That's kind of weird for a warrior. Usually it's like for like rogues and rangers and shit. You would think in any kind of other video game.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, because he had a very slow attack and he doesn't do a ton of damage. So like the vampires, it wasn't intuitive. I would think warrior, okay, he just, he's going to be like a brawler type, but no.
Sounds like Loop Hero isn't very respectful of your time. All right.
I mean, it's all right. The game is, like I said, go back to what I first said. The game is good. I don't think it's great, but the fact that somebody made this on like Game Maker 2, that's impressive to me.
As you were going down the list of Game Maker, I saw 3 games out there that like Rivals of Aether was on there. What else was on there? I saw 2 other things that I noticed that have gained prominence over the years. So good on them.
Yeah, you can make some really good games with a lot of the stuff they have out there now.
I'm not going to go over 30 seconds on this. Sam bought the bug assault gun, the assault gun that kills flies, and she's walking around the house like the fucking Terminator these days, man. She loves it.
She's got glasses on, just blasting fucking
Wouldn't
flies.
that damage things around your house?
It's just salt, dude. It's like 5 grains of salt. Maybe 10, 15 grains of salt. Like it's not going to do much. And it's just one pump. Like it's imagine like an old school BB gun. It's not much air.
Yeah, but still, I feel like salt could like chip paint or something. It's like rock salt or...
If that's your biggest concern, stay away from me. But I don't think it really... No, it's not rock salt. It's just basic. It's just salt.
Okay.
Regular old salt. Undamaging salt. And anyway, so she's we've had it for like 2 weeks. I barely got my first kill like yesterday because she's just, she's like, oh, fly, fucking runs over, grabs it, fucking does a combat roll and just blows these things away. And it's not like you're killing them from across like you have to be 15 inches away. So you still have to
sneak up on them.
You have to stalk your prey. But it's awesome because they disappear.
Are you executing these fucking flies? Are you just like getting right behind them and just blowing their brains out with fucking salt?
Das Vidanya. And then you just fucking pull the trigger, man. It's great.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to evolve to the point where they hear the cocking sound and they're going to
just buzz off.
Yeah, buzz off. But so far, we're winning the genetic war.
It's got a laser sight.
Yeah, you can pay for that one. We didn't opt for that. It's great.
We're not that kind of
they are expensive. Like it's more than you think. I think they were like close to $50 for each one. We got some kind of deal. You could get whatever. Doesn't matter. But I would say it's kind of worth it, especially because we have a big house. We have a lot of our house has a lot of orifices. There's a lot of places where fucking flies can get in. So yeah,
I'm watching this guy blast away, and he's chipping his paint, man. This is
maybe Bobby was
stuff.
right, dude.
I mean, you're shooting salt at a high velocity. Yeah, dude, you could mess some stuff up with that.
I guess, but they're always on our counters, which is made of marble, so I don't think we're doing that damage.
You know what
We're still in this
the
house. The previous owners had a salt shotgun. All the marble counters are chipped because of salt. The paint is no longer available. Only bare wood. Salt has obliterated the paint below to the point where we can repaint it.
When you go buy marble countertops now, they're like, it's guaranteed for life unless you have a fucking bucket.
Salt shotgun for flies.
I'll be back.
Well, it's like when you live down by the beach, which, I mean, in San Diego, that's a little more common. I don't know, depending on where people live. But if you live down by the beach, like your stuff's going to get messed up because there's a lot of, it's a different
Salt in the air
climate
and
down
shit,
there.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. The air is different down there. So I remember like when I was fixing computers, like I had a client that was right down there on the beach and his chassis was constantly getting eroded like all the
Well,
time.
is it the same thing applied to people that live in snowy areas because they in like Colorado because they salt the fucking roads, and so
Mhm.
people's chassis are like constantly getting like rusted out, and that's why like Subarus and like Toyotas and like Mitsubishi's cars that make like rally cars or like 4x4 cars, they now come with like plastic skirts and stuff to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, if you kick that salt up when they salt the sidewalks or the streets.
Yeah, it's just so crazy, dude. It isn't it a different kind of salt though? Like it's not just normal ass salt.
No, they use salt, but there's another thing they use. I learned about it in my chemistry class, but I've actively tried to forget everything about that class. So I don't remember. There's a
Here
different
we use beet juice. Beet
beet
juice on the
juice.
roads now.
So it just
Yeah.
looks like you murdered everybody in your like. Is it dyed or is it just red as well?
It is still red. Yeah. It's because
Ugh.
the salt was so damaged. Well, salt and sand and this chemical agent that they usually put on the roads, but it was damaging people's vehicles. So they have this beet juice that they've been trying, and it's working. If you drive on the road after it's been beet juiced, it's like it's
but
not slippery at all.
beet juice is going to stain things, though.
And you, make sure you kill somebody right after they beet juiced. So when you run over somebody, it doesn't look like you've murdered anybody.
Saying if you get beet juice on your clothes, that's not coming out.
Yeah, that shit ain't coming out at all.
Ugh.
What do you call it? When it comes to like cars and shit, I can't imagine because I was told if I got sent to Hawaii for the fucking military, never to buy a new car. Like just buy some beater ass car because like your car is gonna dissolve because of all the salt and everything else out there. And I can't imagine living next to the beach and having some sort of nice car.
Yeah.
So, especially now that I found out about this beet juice epidemic.
All right. Well, what's up with Phasmophobia? You getting into the Halloween spirit since we're in October?
You know, it's Spooktober. Now we're playing Phasmophobia. So Leslie has a gaming laptop. We bought it for her. And so we're looking for new things to play. And she loved playing Phasmophobia when we got her gaming computer a long time ago. We sold her gaming computer, we bought her gaming laptop. So she's like, hey, let's play some Phasmophobia. It's October. And I was like, hell yeah, let's play it. So we decided to play it. We played like, I think 4 or 5 rounds so far. I've died every fucking round. They've made the game so much fucking harder. The game looks 10 times better.
Oh, that's good.
As far as textures and lighting and a bunch of other things. They've added new items. They've added new ghost types. There's new mechanics.
It was so rough, man. My review was, it looked bad, dude. Like I didn't.
Yeah, no. They fixed so much shit. Like it is way better now. Like it's almost unrecognizable as far as like how ugly it used to be and how great it looks now.
Yeah. Are you guys playing in VR or were you playing in first person?
No, I don't have a VR yet. I'm waiting for something between the Quest and the HTC and the like. I don't want the fucking Facebook VR, and I don't want to pay $1,000 for the fucking Valve Index. I want something in between. So
I'm kind of waiting for the next gen.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting as well.
Yeah, well,
but
that's not going to be fucking in between, dude. That's going to be probably $1,500 or so, I'm guessing. But we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Did you guys have a good time? Is there a player base big enough to? Were you playing with randos or just you two? Uh-oh. Did we lose Nick?
Yeah, it looks like we did.
Heart attack?
He's just frozen in time there. I realized this game came out about a year ago now and took the world by storm back then.
Mm-hmm.
And it still seems like it's either just as popular or making a bit of a comeback because it seems very popular with kids, at least the ones that I work with. They're all into Phasmophobia again.
Yeah, it's an October-y thing,
Yeah, maybe it's just the season, but
still 23,000 people playing. That's incredible.
It's a
Hey, have you
lot.
played it yet, Bobby?
I have not.
Dude, it's it has some really original things. Like
Sorry
having
about that. I'm back.
there he is.
My computer just fucking crashed.
I was just gonna go
That's
in
weird.
on what makes this game original. Like
Yeah.
you having to find clues about who the ghost is, then having a seance to summon them, and then you also find out clues of what kind of ghost they are, so you know how to defeat them. It's a nice gameplay loop because it's not the same combination of 3 clues. Nick, it's 3 clues, right?
So it's 3 clues, but they've also changed how easy it is to detect the ghost.
I
So
thought you said they made it
before,
harder.
whenever something happened, it would automatically cross off what happened, right?
Uh-huh.
So for example, if the ghost would appear on an EMF reader at a level 5, the journal would automatically cross that off, and you'd be like, all right, cool, let's just check the journal. Okay, it automatically did that. And all right, cool, like we know. Now you actively have to monitor what is going on and actively look at everything. You can't just passively put down traps and everything. Like you actively have to like monitor things. So also the way the mechanics work now for like hunts and everything, um, and how ghosts move, everything is more dynamic. So before, ghosts could only stay in certain areas, and certain ghosts could only stay in certain areas. But now all ghosts, if like if found or like revealed to certain things, can now move and are just more dynamic in general. So the game is not farmable anymore, because before, in the earlier times, you'd literally just run into an area, you would find out one clue, and then you would get everybody to run over with other devices, find out the other clues, and just run out, and that's it. Before the timer, before the ghost could officially start hunting you, and then you would just get your money and level up. That's it. But now there's missions where there is no timer anymore. Like the ghost can hunt you immediately as soon as the mission starts. And so the game just gets a lot more intense and just a lot scarier. So
And you're saying that the information gathering is more intense as well. So maybe you could be distracted while you're trying to write something down or whatever, and then getting pounced on or whatever.
yeah. Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh yeah. And as far as like how the journal works, it's very different. The menu is a little bit more intuitive now too. It's not different to the point where it's foreign. It's still the same game, but it's been tweaked and optimized. And as far as graphics go and lighting, it's been way improved. It doesn't look like it's like a game made in like Gary's mod anymore. So
Right.
Well, do they
pretty
have a
good.
roadmap for this game, or have they outlined what they want for a 1.0 release? Because it's still in early access.
I think they want to do 2 more maps. They said, and then 2 more ghost types. Um, because right now I know, like, I know certain ghosts have certain abilities. So, like, some ghosts can go through walls, some ghosts can run, some ghosts can float, some ghosts can open doors. Like, different ghosts have certain, like, different abilities and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. And, like, before it was just like all ghosts can open doors, all ghosts can, like, do certain, like, it wasn't nearly as, like, it just wasn't as varied as before, like as it is now. So it
Hmm.
like the after a year and a half of not playing it, the game has changed a lot. So
And it sounds like they're leaning more into the detective-y side of it, which is cool,
yes,
man. I've always dug that about this game. You're not a ghost buster. You're a ghost detector. And
yeah, the whole point is you are like
Who
the
you to
scouting
call
team. You are not there
ghost
to kill the
detectors?
ghost. You're there to figure out what the fuck's going on.
Doesn't quite have the same ring to it.
well, nobody has the money for a Ghostbuster right off the bat. Let's make sure we have bed bugs before we get the bed bug exterminator. Speaking of
Yeah.
which, so had this buddy who had a buddy, and that buddy was kind of like a I don't know. He's just like a fuck off, never got his shit together, blah, blah, blah. Decided to spend, I guess he got 10 grand together, bought a dog that smells bed bugs, and now makes,
What?
yeah. So he bought $10,000 for like a Labrador that smells bed bugs. So then he's just a bed bug detector. He doesn't get rid of them or anything. So he goes over to people's houses and he does like 30 seconds of work, and they pay him $500. And so, as long as he can get fucking work, he's fucking killing the game, dude. He made like over $100,000. Never graduated, never even went to high school. Good on him, man. Good on him.
That is some straight California shit. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm from California, but that's like my cousin found this wiener dog, and he can smell bed bugs, fool. I tell you, my cousin Juan, he sells it to white people, and that's just it's exactly what happens every fucking time, dude.
Oh, this is a white guy, but all right, that's fine. Star Wars Visions. I'm assuming all of you guys watched it.
Yeah, of course.
No, not yet.
What are you doing with your life, Bobby?
Currently, I've got a lot of side
Episode 2
jobs.
sucks balls. I'll tell you that. I mean, episode 3, sorry.
What'd you guys think?
I think episode 3 sucks.
What? Oh, you're just on episode 3. Yeah, dude, they're hit and miss. That's all I'm gonna say on them. There's some really good ones. There's some bad ones. There's some just boring ones. But overall, it's definitely worth if you're a Star Wars fan, check it out. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, this is Japanese animation studios, 7 different ones, made 7 different shorts, and then you get to check it out. The animation style. There was like 2 that impressed me artistically. The other ones not so much. The first one I thought was incredible. I really liked the art on that one.
Let me guess. The second one was number 7.
I don't know. I ain't pay attention. But with the Japanese culture and stuff, a lot of them have a lot more to do with the swords themselves. It's all very sword focused, like family sword. We're talking about lightsabers, obviously. It's adapted. But, a lot of focus on swords, which was cool because you don't see a lot of that in the movies. Sure, they might bring it up, this and that, but it's kind of like a cool thing that happens. And this is more like where they come from. A lot of kyber crystal. 2 of them were about kyber crystals. Different ways of using lightsabers. A lot of lightsaber stuff, which is cool. What?
I feel like this wasn't for, I don't know, like a North American or someone who's familiar with Star Wars. Like, there was so much exposition. They were like, lightsabers, unstoppable. No metal can stop it. I was like, yeah, we know. Like, lightsabers, we know what they are. I just felt like there's a lot of
Dude,
explaining.
You know how a lightsaber.
It's
Trying to explain lightsabers to me?
dude, it's Japanese storytelling, dude. It's just exposition. It never ends, dude. It's just talking, explaining, and then 50 seconds of the best fucking action you've ever seen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's just how the Japanese do it. That's their culture.
My favorite one was the Jabba the Hutt's nephew joining a rock band.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God.
that's a fucking great story. Come on. Like,
I thought it was pretty cool. It's a cool take for sure. And these are all like, I mean, it's pretty obvious it's non-canon because like there was a Sith Lord in everyone, and stuff. But yeah, it was good. I'm glad that this is the indie developer of animation. You know what I mean? Like they're taking risks. They're checking stuff out. Definitely worth taking. And it's free on if you pay for Disney Plus or whatever. Yeah. So can I do a recap? Where's our list?
Down at the bottom.
Yeah. So on the radar was Succubus. Probably gonna suck. Marvel's Avengers sucks, but maybe it's worth for free. Chaos Gate Daemon Hunters, which is XCOM for 40K people. Starship Troopers is RTS, that's Terran Command. XO1, trippy, weird game. And Diplomacy is Not an Option, which is a siege game, defensive siege game. Highlights were Loop Hero, Phasmophobia. I hate that goddamn name. And Star Wars Visions.
I want to play when you're doing the recap, like a ticking clock that goes faster and faster. I feel like it would really add to, at the end, it's like, whatever. It's fun.
We still got our Game of the Weeks. Or are we doing another week?
I don't know. I feel like everybody's ready to talk about New World.
Are you? I never
have
gave
you
you
played
my.
it?
I never gave you my sign in, dude. Are you gonna play it if I give you my sign in?
I don't know. Probably not. I'm gaming off my laptop right now. So my place got flooded again. So I've been living out of a backpack at my girlfriend's for a while.
Oh,
and probably for the
no,
next
dude.
month.
Did
Yeah.
anything get damaged?
No, but it looks like the damage might be more than it was last time. I don't know. My insurance company is like, they're like, oh, you're covered for $45,000. I'm like, yeah, that should cover it. It was $25,000 last time. She's like, well, it's been 5 years though. It might have gone up. I'm like, that's $45,000. I
Yeah.
think that'll cover it, lady. But
Yeah, because you have a tiny place.
yeah, it's
dude.
not a big place, but the water got everywhere.
Dude, I would 100% wet my computer. Like you should wet your computer, and I'm endorsing fucking insurance fraud right now.
Wet my computer.
Yeah, fucking wet it and get a brand new computer, dude. What are you talking about? Yes,
Well, now that we've admitted to it live on air, I don't know if it'll stick. But
cut it out.
no, man, I don't really care about that. I would just like to, not be displaced from my home for a month and have my walls cut open and dried out and have to get a new floor every 5 fucking years.
Do you get compensated for your time and fucking like your hotel and shit?
Well, I got to work all that out with the insurance company.
God damn.
Yeah, it's
This
What are
is
these pipes made out of, dude? Like
fucking
candy?
paper or something. I don't know, dude. It's
Yeah.
the exact same spot. Like I knew. I woke up because someone was knocking at my door at 11 o'clock at night, and I heard the dripping in my bathroom, and I just knew right then. I'm like, the same exact thing that happened 5 years ago. I went upstairs to where it happened last time, and yep, same fucking pipe, same fucking spot. So it's confusing though because I got a new HOA. I've got a new insurance company. Like I've switched everything after the last time, and the building is switched the HOA. Nobody cares about this shit.
I
dude.
care,
No.
dude. I'm like, this is interesting.
The fact of the
You're
matter,
so more passionate about this than you are about fucking Loop Hero.
Oh yeah, because it's my fucking home that got flooded. Yeah, dude. It's like I don't even fucking vacuum
It's
anymore.
my
I'm like, what's the
fucking
point?
house, man.
What's the point of vacuuming, dude? This shit's just gonna get replaced in another couple of years every time it floods. Like, I don't know, man. Like it'll all figure itself out. But for the meantime, what it means is that I have to play everything off of my laptop
Right.
while sitting on a couch at my girlfriend's
Which
house.
which pretty much means that you're playing things that were on Game Maker.
Yeah. But, it's honestly not the worst thing in the world. I'm actually noticing that it doesn't make that much of a difference because all the games that I've been playing, Stardew Valley,
Yeah.
Slay the Spire, like this is all stuff that is perfectly runnable on a laptop. Although Monster Train and the other game, card-based game, not compatible with a Mac.
Oh,
Yeah. So very unfortunate there. I think they have that Steam streaming thing. I could try to figure that out, but I don't know.
and also Game Pass. You can stream games from Game Pass onto whatever device.
Yeah, but I don't know if that. I tried to do it through Steam. I don't know about Game Pass. I tried to do it through Steam, and it said like you need to click OK on the host machine. So I remoted into my computer, and I hit OK, and nothing happened. So I don't know what's going on with that. If they have to be on the same
It's
local area
underwater,
network.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry you have to deal with that, dude. That's fucking awful.
Yeah, it's shitty, but I've been through it before. and,
Yeah,
you know.
but that makes it worse.
Yeah, it's not great, but at least now, see, the first time I was fucking livid, dude, because I didn't understand like why do I have to pay my deductible and inflated insurance rates when a pipe in a common area broke
Yeah.
and that's your responsibility and it's written into the contract, and I've learned that that's very common with any high rise or any building like that. They write it into they have a clause in the contract, so if something like that does happen, then you have to file a claim with your insurance company. So I mean, this time around, I'm like not that upset about the whole process. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude, $1,000, I'll get a new floor and maybe a new bathroom too. But I am kind of like, this is happening once every 5 years. Like, what's going on here, dude?
Yeah.
Like, let's get our shit together, dude. This is not normal. This is not fucking
We-
normal for this to happen once every 5 years. Like, and I'm telling this to the lady, and she's like giving me the literally exact same response that I got from the old HOA lady, which was, we've identified the problem. We've ordered the part. It'll be here on Monday and they'll have it fixed. I'm like, yeah, I know it'll be fixed. Is it going to stay fixed? Because it's fucking raining in my apartment every 5 years. Like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like,
Like,
this
son
is-
of a bitch. I need my shit fixed.
Ugh.
I guess I would like to see Bobby lay it on someone. because he's so even keeled all the time. Like
I pay for it.
to be a fly on the wall, dude. When he's laying down the thunder, dude.
Because
Stay away from
the first 30 seconds are calm and concise and
it's
nice.
not, as a white person, it's very hard to do that because it always comes off as like offensive in some way.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not. But yeah, dude,
She's like, "Oh, you're not used to getting rain in your apartment, sir."
No, and this lady.
So I just want you to let you
we
know,
got a
I
new-
grew up with rain in my apartment.
Oh, you had a roof,
This is
sir?
an everyday struggle for someone like me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And there's so many different people too. Like the last time that this happened, the people that really got the brunt of it was the company that came in to do the resto on it, the restoration.
Yeah.
Because they were like, I'm like, dude, who the fuck are these people? Like you get a contractor who
Right.
hires a guy who hires
Yeah.
another guy, and I got
Right.
some fucking dude with his kid in my house, like just painting walls and doing a shitty job of it. Like, what the fuck is this? Are you kidding me?
Because they're gonna go with the
seen Bobby the Man before.
they're gonna go with the cheapest bid, dude.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they
always.
did. They did, dude. And it was like I had to constantly be on them. And then they're like, okay, we'll take some off. Well, they took like $250 off, and I was still like fucking like I wouldn't
is-
sign, dude. I was like holding out. I was like, I will not fucking sign this. So this shit is perfect. And it was like, and they're like, this is not the way we do business. I'm like, well, your fucking business sucks, dude, because this shit is not happening. I was so fucking pissed about it. Now
Bobby, come out on top. Right right off your you had some Yeezys, right? You had some Yeezys in the closet, right? Right? Fucking
Stick a shit in the Yeezys, man. But fuck this. This shit don't
Get
work.
shit in the Yeezys. Yeezys came off. There was shit coming out of the roof and it fell into your Yeezys, dude. You got shit covered Yeezys.
I don't think they're gonna believe that. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I had the original Mona Lisa in here. Now I gotta believe it.
You're like-
Fucking ruined.
Look, I took a
All
shit
right?
before. It flooded.
Yeah.
The shit went into
I'm an art
Yeezys when it
thief.
flooded,
I
okay?
mean-
That's how the shit got into Yeezys.
Yeah, no, dude. Like, I just want my shit fixed, and like, I don't want to have to deal with this. I'm not trying to like scam anybody. Although my insurance company said they could give me like $100 a day, even though I'm staying at my girlfriend's. So I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude, okay, because it's gonna be like a month, man. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
long time.
Oh, that's
But I don't
good
know.
then.
Get
That's
like a little
good.
per
Give me the
diem there.
off-whites.
In a situation like this, you need to make sure you come out on top. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, dude. When you're dealing with it, because I got a buddy who works in insurance, car insurance, and he's he'll like tell you all the ways to get the most out of it, and that's how it is with the insurance companies.
Yeah.
When this stuff happens, like you as the customer try to just extract as much money as possible
Yeah.
out of the situation.
Because you're getting fucked every month. So
Yeah.
you get to fuck them twice
Yeah,
a
I'm
year.
going to be getting
twice
fucked
a-
for the next 5 years on these
Yeah.
inflated. It's literally 5 years that it's on your record, and then your rates go down. So I was dude. I spent like 4 glorious months with a normal insurance payment, like a home insurance payment, and then this shit happens again. Like, what the fuck, man?
Dude, I can't. How do you not see it? They're definitely in cahoots. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, dude. They were up there with the
Bro,
crowbar whacking on
I'd
that
be throwing
pipe.
all my shit in the water, bro. Everything. Wife, kid, cats, everything in the water. I'm getting everything new. Everything new.
All my cats drowned. You know how much emotional damage that cost? Can you put a number on emotional damage, sir?
Can you put a price on Mr. Fuzzy Bottoms? I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh man, let's talk about an MMO. That was the best thing we've done in 3 years.
Well, I don't know about that.
It was pretty good, man.
Best thing in 5 years, at the very least.
Yeah, at the very least.
All right. So New World, everybody's been playing it. My Steam's friend list is literally like New World, New World, New World, New World.
It's ridiculous. And then when I was speaking to Christian before the show, I was like, and the times are ridiculous. 40 hours, 30 hours, 37 hours, blah, blah, blah. But he's saying that a lot of that is queue times.
Mhm.
Yep.
And let's talk
Yeah.
about the
Which
bad
is-
part first.
Hilarious because you go back an episode, I'm just like, hey, it's Amazon, guys. If anybody can do it, it's Amazon. I don't
What
think
did I say, Bobby?
I can't remember.
Okay. You talked about Amazon because in response to me, I was like, I feel like people are taking the day off. What if the servers are crashing? And that's
Oh.
in response.
Yeah,
you
and then
said-
I said that in response.
Yeah, and I fucking called this.
But
shit.
seriously, dude, what's going on with Amazon? Because don't they host like everything, like Netflix and shit?
Well,
And,
it's like departments, dude. Like they have their gaming. I feel like the gaming department at Amazon is kind of like I don't know, cousin Nate in the Adams family. Like he lives under the stairs where you don't talk to them.
It's like
They-
6
yeah.
dudes with a microwave to make taquitos. That's all they got.
So let's talk
They
about the worst
open-
part of the game. It's definitely the queue times. The very first day was, several hours.
I didn't play for the first 2 days, and I was in queue for at least 6 hours.
I
Yeah.
got up at 5 a.m. my time and played 3 hours before work.
So
I got in.
the third day is when I played. No, maybe fourth or fifth day was the first time. I read all the madness, and I was like, oh. Luckily, Sniper had already brought up a alternate server that we could play on the West Coast. So I went to that. It was 60 people, which ended up being like 15 minutes. So I took a shit, and it was perfect. And then every day that I played after that was less and less. And then the last 2 times I signed in, there was 0. You just log in and play. But yeah, I would say that was probably the worst part of the game so far. That's why it has mixed. The game itself, I mean, you heard me gush 2 episodes ago about how much that is. But Sniper, you've raised a goddamn army, man. You have a lot going on. You want to talk about the game? And see, there's me who's making fucking pork stew, and there's you that's in the empire building business. How has it been, putting together a guild, playing hardcore, all of that stuff?
It's been pretty good. We met some, like, our group basically got split in half. Like, half went to west, half went to east, and then of the path that went to east, some of them even went on other new servers that they opened up. But we ended up meeting some other people in game, and have been doing some top tier dungeons and shit, man, and like huge PvP and everything that the game is about.
That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's when that stuff is happening, it's the perfect game. But I feel like what is missing for me personally is on both the betas, you kind of played the game maybe how it was meant to be played. You were just like, oh, I'll try a little bit of this, and none of this counts, so I'm just going to try a little bit of everything, go see all these places, and I had a lot of fun. And now that I'm taking it more seriously, I'm finding it like, oh, dude, this game's a fucking grind. And what I like about it is the exploration, and doing a bunch of different things. But what you have to do to be probably competitive is not that. So I'm finding that a bit challenging.
Yeah. There's it goes for a lot of games. I brought this up with Magic a long time ago. Once you get into being competitive, you get into the meta, and that changes the way you play the game and doesn't make it as fun. Like, playing the game naturally is fun. And then once you once you get sweaty, then you're sweaty. You're all wet and shit. It's not good, right?
It's only fun for when you're in those, big PvP moments and stuff, which might be like half an hour a day, right? But for the other time you're playing, you're just working up to that. I don't know.
Give me an example. What are you working on that is so good in PvP that you have to have it?
My build is amazing in PvP. I think I'm working on the Ice Gauntlet and Rapier. So you have all these abilities, these area abilities that do a bunch of attack, and then you have a shit ton of focus DPS when you really need it, and then you have a couple escapes and survival abilities too. So it is fun to play, but like doing all the missions and making sure all your gear has like the right gems and like finding all the right augmentations and making sure you're eating all the right food. I mean, it's just
a lot. It's a lot.
it's a lot. And then with the guild on top of that and everything, kind of have to, I don't know, make sure I want everyone who wants to play together. And so that part is also stressful because, we're on a server where people can't play with their friends and stuff, which kind of sucks. So,
well, yeah, dude, that's been the paramount issue, right? Like, right away, I was like, I don't care. Not that I don't care. I want to play with you guys, obviously, but there's no way. John was saying the same thing with our super limited game time. Rude, Bobby. Our super limited game times. We don't have the time for that. Even if we pre-queue, like, I am not at home to pre-queue, and so just going to another server and playing the game. I even told John. John was like level 14 when I was like level 3, And I was like, I kind of want to play on my own, dude. I just want to get. And he's like, fuck you. He ran over to me. He made a team, and he just killed everything for me. And which I feel like I'm falling behind on my skills because everything is being killed. But it's way more cool hanging out with more people. Obviously, that's why it's a massively multiplayer MMO. But there is something to just going around the wrong corner, running to something a little too high level for you, the classic MMO shit, and doing it on your own and stuff. So the game itself, without talking about that super high level stuff that you're talking about, is still, I mean, for $40, I think you're getting what Christian would say, a ripping deal. I feel like, because there's hours and hours and hours of just leveling up. Then there's like tons of crafting if you want to get in, but you don't have to. Or you could just craft and level up that way. And then there's end game, and then there's PvP. Nick, what was your experience?
First 2 days I couldn't play. Second day I could only play about 45 minutes. Third day I could play about an hour and a half. Fifth day didn't play at all. Yesterday I got to play about 2 hours, and now I'm level 16. The time I've been able to play has been really fun. I got to play with Leslie. The shitty thing is I didn't know that there was multiple starting areas. We rolled fucking negative. She got one starting area and I got a different one. So I essentially had to teach her how to play the game from a different area, which sucked. But yeah. The game is great. It's I like how the PvP is skill based. Like it's essentially like Dark Souls, so it requires like good reaction times and dodging and things like that. Unlike WoW, where you just lock onto your target and mash your buttons and wipe your face on the keyboard. I like the game a lot. For me, it's the unknown. It's nice playing a game where I don't know where everything's at. I'm not looking at any guides. I'm not watching any streams, and I love that.
That's a good
every
point,
time I
man.
play a game nowadays, whether it be like Ark or Rust or anything like that, and me and my friends play it, I always tell my friends, I'm like, unless you are at the point where you absolutely cannot continue the game, like you are so stuck that you cannot continue the game, do not look anything up, and I guarantee you the game will be way better.
Yeah.
And then they all do it. Like none of my friends have looked anything up, and they're like, "This game's great. This game's amazing." And I have a friend who's level 39, and I have another friend who's level 27, another one who's level 23, and I'm the lowest one at level 16.
Some amazing self-control there. I'm surprised they're still having. We're about a week into this game. I'm surprised they're still having server issues.
Well, they bought a whole bunch.
Well, what it is like, yeah, they've explained that you're going to be able to transfer your characters for free, but so many people are like, well, I already have my character here, and he's already level 9, and I don't want to transfer my other character. Like, I don't want to start another character because all my friends are here. Like, the idea of starting another character on another server and the whole, like, you only have one character per, like, server seed, or I mean, map seed is kind of scary as well.
Per, like, you only have one item or one character per like region, right? Is that right? Like only one per west?
Server region, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can have 2 on west and 2 on east. Just to give you an idea of where the servers started, they launched with 67 servers on US East, and today there's 200 servers. And so
the queue times are better now.
They are better if you go on a new server that they've made, one of these new servers, they will be better. But everyone who started day one and doesn't want to restart their character, they have a hard choice to make.
But then Nick was saying that they're allowing free transfers, right? You can transfer your character.
Eventually.
In a week and a half. Like they said after week 2, they're going to be able to do that. And they've openly said that. But there's already a new issue that's coming out, and that there's no new players. And so that the economy is already crashing for the new players. Like, on some servers, there's no new player economy, so people are making new characters on these servers where they want to play with their friends and stuff, and there's no like economy for those new players. As weird as that sounds, and like it's on some of the streamer servers, like Shroud's server, like everybody's level 30 and above on his server because it's a streamer server, so everybody's just staying logged in and playing. But like the few people that are trickling in to play, they're just not getting anything to like. There's no groups to do anything in the lower levels. As weird as that sounds, but
Okay.
the other thing is that it's getting on some of the servers. For example, our server. I told my friend like I have 6 friends that are trying to join the guild, and 3 of them have successfully joined already. I have a 4th one and a 5th one that are trying to join, but they're on different servers and they can't. And then I also have Leslie, who wants to play and wants to join, but she just can't. Like 3 other people can't join because they can't even create a server. I mean, create a character on the server. Like this, it's not that they can't join the server; they can't even create a character on the server.
without
Yeah, it's
deleting
locked.
their old one, right? Or
No, it's just
No,
no
no, no,
more
no, no.
characters.
There's
Oh.
no new characters at all.
Yeah, they just put a big X sign up. They're like, no, no
Wow.
more, please.
It's kind of
Yeah.
it's probably a good move on their part, because if people were just making characters everywhere and chasing each other's friends and trying to, it would just cause so much more traffic. So
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of issues right now, but in the long run, like in the big picture of this game, this is stuff that's going to eventually get worked out.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is a flash in the
100%.
pan.
right
Like,
now.
this is going to be over with, but
what's really important here is that it's a super solid game, and it's a super solid MMO. And Sam was talking to me about, like, she goes, so it's like what it's like WoW, and I was like, yeah. She's like, is it better than WoW? I was like, WoW is made 20 years later, so it should be. But they've been working on WoW for the last 20 years,
Yeah.
so it should be a finely tuned katana, which it is, I guess, if you're still into that. But player base has dropped off, so there's a lot of good things that they did right in this. And this, like I said, in 2 or 3 years, this could be the premier MMO. And I don't know if they just knocked it out of the park developmentally wise, or the zeitgeist was just ready for, like, we were ripe for the picking, as far as like maybe people were just ready for a new MMO. And it might be a combination of the two. And Jeff Bezos came out and said, we finally have tasted success in the video game department after many years of many failures.
I am weary, but I'm excited.
But dude,
I like the game a lot. I really do. I see myself playing this game quite a bit. I see myself getting to max level. I see myself, doing end game stuff. But my one issue is that I already see some things that are already a problem that people have explained. Like there's a constant issue with people getting to level 40, or getting to level 37, level 38. There's no quest to do to get to level 40, and you can't do the main quest until you get to level 40. And so they're like, you have to do these town quests and you have to do these faction quests, and your rep is already maxed out with the faction, and there's all these other things that you like. It's unintuitive to do. Like the game doesn't tell you to do it. Now, for some people, that's okay. Like for me, I'm okay with that because I'm constantly checking the fucking bulletin board. I'm constantly checking the faction stuff. But for some other people, they're like, wait, what? Like there's a faction board and other things like that. That's going to drive away other players.
you know what probably
like
is?
it's the whole LFG feature, right? Like, do you make the game easier so that more people can play, or do you make the game, or do you keep the game as hard as it is so that the more hardcore players stay? Right?
This game is not hard at all.
It's not. It's not hard at all.
This game is one of the easiest MMOs, or easiest games, period. Like very intuitive. I don't know if they made it easier. I wouldn't play, dude. Like
That's where I was at WoW, dude. WoW got so easy that 10-year-olds.
WoW's a joke, dude.
Yeah.
It holds your hand. Like it's so bad. Like WoW is 10 times easier than this game. It's so bad. Like I remember when people started like playing WoW Classic, and they were like, "Wait, what? There's no LFG. There's no looking for rate. There's none of this, none of that." And like they realized how good they have it in retail, and they were just like, "This is insane. This is how WoW used to be." And now people that are playing New World, they're just like, "Oh, like why doesn't this have looking for group? Why doesn't it have this feature?
It does have looking for group.
No, well, that's not what I'm saying. It's like they're comparing it to WoW, and the features that it doesn't have that WoW doesn't have, they're complaining. It's just like it's not WoW. That's what it's not like. Why doesn't it have races?
Well, they
Why
can
doesn't
go
it have
fuck.
this?
They can go fuck themselves, dude. The combat alone is the reason.
Yeah, the
to-
combat's 10 times fucking better, dude.
Yeah.
It like without a doubt. And people are like, you can't log onto your target. It's like that's the whole fucking point of the game.
Wait,
You're supposed to be good at it.
Wait, who are you finding that's like bitching about it like this? Like that's
'Cause
crazy.
inner demons,
multiple
dude.
people on Reddit, dude. Like, and it's mostly like teenagers and kids. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, let's not bring them up or their opinion.
It's so aggravating.
Anyway, so obviously it's a pretty rave review from all of us, right?
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably be right there. Yeah, 9 out of 10 on an MMO, guys. The fuck? I'm like eating my words here. And Sniper, I mean, you're putting a lot on your shoulders. Plus, the game is putting some on your shoulders. But this is what a lot of people would look for in endgame. Like, you want complexity. You don't want just one build that everybody goes towards. You want to be trying things out. Like, this is what you want in an MMO. Yeah, it's getting hectic for you because you took a lot on. But yeah, that's a sign of a lot of endgame, a lot of tinkering, a lot of changing. You know, all of a sudden you're like, fuck, I think broadside swords is the way to go. Guess what? You got to go buy a fucking kick-ass broadsword, go start hacking a bunch of shit down so your level goes up, right? So
no, I'm one balance patch away from it not mattering, which is fine. My stressful, or I'm playing the game. All bad parts about this game for me are self-inflicted. Like, it's a wonderful game. Like, I've played it so much.
Yeah.
In beta, so yeah.
And Bobby, like, if you were, if you had your setup and everything was going fine, none of this is enticing.
No, at some point I'd like to check out this game.
Yeah.
But I don't know how far I'd get with it because I can't spend 40 hours in a week playing this game.
But that's the thing, dude. I've spent 6 since it came out, 6 hours, maybe 7.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
And had a fucking blast. Like, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking to other people.
I mean, I'm not in any rush. The game's just going to get better and cheaper. So, I mean, listen, look at all the games I've been playing. They're all like the hot games 2 or 3 years ago,
And the other thing too is like $40 for what you're getting and not a monthly subscription. It sounds like Mr. Bezos is not going to be able to fly rockets anymore at those rates, dude. Like, I don't understand how that works, but it works, I guess. I guess so many people bought it that it's profitable, but fuck.
Have you checked out the cash shop?
No.
Oh. It's so funny to me, dude. The people that are like level 11 and they're like rolling around in this golden god armor. I'm like, you look like an idiot. Like you're wearing like your leather belt and like your leather armor, like you're like under like your underpants and your long johns. And you look like a fucking golden god while you're fighting a turkey. Like,
yeah, I was just gonna
stupid.
say, yeah, they're getting a little bit more money out of people with these skins than just the price.
I didn't even know. So there's a cash, but it's only cosmetics, I guess.
It's all skins. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
skins.
it's just
Emotes
cosmetics.
and shit like that.
Yeah.
One last thing.
I got shocked yesterday. I just realized that there was voice in game, and I was walking by and somebody was singing fucking. There was what is it called? It was like Stairway to Heaven or something, like some fucking old 80s rock song. Like
on our server. Okay, dude. I was
also heard a bunch of racial slurs and shit, but that was different.
I was in town at the market, and I was like, someone's being annoying. They're fucking playing some song over their voice chat, whatever. You've heard this before. And then she stops and she starts talking. I was like, oh shit, no, she's just playing her guitar into the mic. I turn around,
singing,
there's a concert behind me. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah, it was good.
I think this game has a lot going for it. I think the more that they invest in it, the more that the more they're going to see on their return. Yeah, I think the one thing about this game for me is that I'm not like fiending for it. I'm not like I gotta play New World, right? I get home, I log in a queue. If I don't play it, whatever. I'm gonna paint. I'm gonna play a different game. I'll play a game with Leslie. I'll play Phasmophobia. I don't really care. But if I'm playing it, I'll play an hour or an hour and a half or 45 minutes. I'm like, cool. I got to kill some turkeys. I got to kill some zombies. I got to go do whatever. I got to kill some other players, and that's it. Like I'm good with it. Like that's the one part of the game I really like about it. Like I can pick it up and drop it off as much as I can.
I honestly think that in a 10-minute playthrough, you're going to advance like 3 different skills. A little tiny bit, but you are. You're going to chop down one tree, kill one turkey, kill a zombie or two, and then it feels like you're constantly progressing. And I'm going to say, I feel a little more appreciative of every arrow that I shoot into somebody if I built it myself. You know what I mean? I'm like, the little Emilio love went into this arrow before I shot it into this person's asshole. Yeah, it's good. All right, enough on that.
Buying my
Gosh.
auction house. I'm like,
this is
these
probably
are Bone
the
Ripper 77's arrows.
I gotta say, Game of the Weeks. This probably had the highest rating out of cumulative. Yeah.
All right, time for listener questions. We got a few here. Let's get to them. First one coming from Zap. Western developers, Eastern European developers, and Asian developers all have very different game styles. Which region would you like to see take a stab at another region's popular genres? For example, an Eastern European JRPG.
Man, I would.
Oof.
That's saying a lot, man. That's something I have to research and shit. Anyone on that?
John.
It sounds like I know I come off a lot as like a Japanese whatever they produce product hater, and it's not the case. They were the first, but I get to the point where it's just like everything cool is Japanese at a certain point, and you're like, no, it's not. Other people have done other things, and like I was talking about earlier, the amount of story they put in, it's overly complex stories, a lot of like just talking, very little action. It gets old after you've been playing it for 30 years. I'm so glad that there's other cultures doing video games, and I brought it up a few 4 episodes ago or something, that the French developers seem to be like gravitating towards the more storytelling side of it, the walking sims, if you will, which is great. I'm glad that they're doing that, and that's another avenue. But as far as mixing them, that's a tough one. I would like to no. I was going to say a Japanese American first-person shooter. Like they would take a Counter-Strike game and just like blow it up in an anime style. That could be fun, because I used to play Counter-Strike. There was a mod on Counter-Strike where you got superpowers. Like you would take them from X-Men, so you had like
you get like vampirism and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So
I got an answer for this. It's very similar to yours. I want to see a Japanese Overwatch. Like I want to see like a Shonen Jump one, where it's like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, like anything that's owned by Shonen Jump, where it's like a first person shooter, but you have all those abilities and stuff. Where it's like Overwatch, where like all the characters are just anime characters. I think that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there was that Chinese ripoff of Overwatch.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Bobby, you got one?
This is a tough question.
It is a tough question.
Well, it's very difficult because I feel like things aren't as centralized by cultures anymore. I don't know. Like the German developers, I can't remember what their name was, but they made a Leisure Suit Larry game, which is not something I would expect from German developers. You're talking about French developers. I mean, they make a lot of games. They have a Ubisoft over there, and they that RTS game that I was talking about a couple weeks ago, they made. And I don't know, like when we
really quickly, if I were just gonna like throw it out there, I would say right now, as it stands, French seem to be going story based. I would say Russian games are like hardcore FPS. That's what they make.
Yes,
like
when you're looking at Tarkov, you're looking at things like that.
Yeah, but even way before that, dude. Like what are those Chernobyl games? like
Yep, Stalker.
very stalker, all that stuff, like very punishing. Put on your mask, you can't see shit. Like those are those games.
Metro,
And
yeah.
Tetris.
No Sims.
Yeah, American games are both. I want to say indie games are
Arcade.
all American, but that's not true. But it's probably because we're American. I only see American.
Yeah.
indie
Well, I think
games.
I think Westerners have ripped off every genre out there already. So I don't know.
I want to say we're the king of the FPS these days. I mean, we made id. We started it off, and Counter Strike is ours, and CS:GO, not CS:GO, but Rainbow Six Siege. That's American. I'm pretty sure. These are I'm just generalizing the way that I understand it. I think I'm on the right track. We're just talking about in generalities.
But I feel like you could find Western developers that have made JRPGs or Eastern European
Yeah, sure, of
that have
course.
made Japanese
Yeah,
rape
yeah.
sims or whatever. you know.
Whoa! All right.
It's a thing. Look it up. So I don't know. That's a tough one, but
It is a tough one. It's a good question.
There
though.
were some games that we had talked about years and years ago, and we were surprised at where the developers were from because one of them was a game like Guacamelee,
yeah,
Mexican
from
game,
Canada.
Canadian developer, and then
Great, and by the way, nailed it. Like
yeah,
I was like, I felt so at home. I felt like I was in a taking a bath in a pool of
culturally
guacamole.
accurate.
Yes,
Guacamelee.
yes.
100%.
But I mean, Canada is a. Do you guys consider yourself a nation of immigrants, dude? Because when I was up there, it was every color of the rainbow, man. It was
One of
more of
our-
a. Go ahead.
We have I'd say most Canadians identify with being multicultural and
Yeah.
barely with being Canadian.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like that's almost secondary. So yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know about this question. I mean, I spend a lot of my time researching development studios and stuff like that, and I don't really think there's. I mean, you can find any game anywhere now. So.
Yes, dude, guys, we're talking about generalities and
We're
majorities.
talking about stereotypes here. Like, what do
Yeah.
you consider like JRPG? Like it says in this, like it says in the question, like JRPGs are super stereotypical Japanese games.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Or like a gacha game is super Chinese.
Bobby's house is flooded twice before that stereotype came over. That's all news.
You got us on that one.
All right. Next question from Coscat. What game have you had the most out loud hysterical laughs with in a multiplayer situation? Would have to be all iterations of Smash Brothers for me.
Golf with your friends.
Really?
Well, yeah,
The amount of times I have fucked over my friends in that game to the point where we stopped talking to each other for a week. Yeah, that game.
yes, sure.
I feel like that's outside of the game.
Yeah,
though.
but it's outside of the game, exactly.
Yeah, the laughs
What
are-
are the games that has the mechanics that? Look at us hijack this question like we know exactly what he meant. But anyway, our answer.
that's not in
the game,
That's actually in the game.
um,
You guys.
general jousting is just. There's a lot of
It's so
ewes.
on the nose, though. I don't know. I'd say
dude.
like Gang Beasts has been a real
yeah.
big crowd pleaser
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
that's
just
that's a good
it's
one.
so comical to look at the characters doing what they do, and then like you're trying so hard to knock somebody off, and when you do, it's always incredibly undramatic and yet so dramatic at the same time. And yeah, that one's gotten a lot of laughs. He narrows it down to just multiplayer, though. I mean, there have been a lot of funny moments in single player games. I mean, probably the funniest thing I've ever seen is Ray getting hit by that cart twice. And I don't know if we still have the clip on that, but
Yeah, that was.
I should
really
walk
good.
it back. Okay, so like when we were doing the homework section, we'd each give someone a game to play, and I said Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Specifically said Gunslinger.
Yeah, he played the wrong
And
one.
he played the wrong one. He played the first Call of Juarez game. And near the end of that game, there's a part where you're walking up a mine shaft and these carts keep coming down. And they were coming down in such odd patterns that he could never get past it. And it was like the game was seriously messing with him. So at one point he says, okay, I'm just going to go right after this one passes. So he waits for the next cart, it passes, and he turns around the corner ready to run up, and immediately, like I'm talking less than a second, another cart comes down and smacks him right in the face.
and it was like ragdoll physics, so his body is like.
It was-
Fuck.
I mean, I I'm not doing the story justice.
I
But
found it.
It
2
makes-
years ago this happened.
It
2
makes
years ago.
more. It makes it worse that he was playing the wrong game and trying because you have to. We had some
Yeah.
stupid role where you have to play at least 2 hours or whatever, and so he's trying to pigeonhole it and make it work, but no.
But so Christian, the clip that you found, is it actually of his stream when he was playing, or was it when we were talking about it on the podcast?
The podcast has his stream
On
on
it,
it. Like,
okay.
he pulled it up.
Because
Yeah,
you can see
so-
me like just laughing really hard in this, which I don't usually do on this podcast. But yeah, let's roll that clip.
Beautiful beam footage.
Look at that. I'm just.
Oh, we aren't seeing it on screen, unfortunately.
Catch this, you son of a bitch! So I start running.
Yeah, let's hold the audio here. We're getting audio, but we aren't seeing it.
Oh, we're working on it.
Okay,
Technical
here we
difficulty.
go. Here we go. All right, turn that
Look at
up.
that background though.
Catch this, you son of a bitch! So I start running.
Runs.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
Then
yes,
dodged it.
dodged it.
And even watching the stream, we're like, yeah, because he
Yes,
died
good
so
job.
many times.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
It's just right there, dude. Like he turns the corner and there's just boom, cart in your face.
Sniper, where can they find this if they want it?
I'll put the link in the for Bobby to put in the
Yeah,
show
we'll put it in
notes.
the show notes. Yeah.
And if you want our show notes or anything else DLG related, go on to DLG DLgaming.net. Sorry, DLgaming.net. That's where you can find all things DLG, including our merch. We sold some merch this month. We were like, hey, people like us. It was cool. So we want to feel even cooler. Check out the shit. A lot of the stuff was designed by the Chad himself. I know we mentioned him. Probably, I would say, what 10% of them know who actually Chad was at this point?
Yeah,
Less
it's been a
than
while
10%.
now. It's been a long
It's been a
time.
long time. It's been years. He was one of the original DLG.
Yeah,
Anyway,
sort of. He came on
Yeah.
well, months into it. So yeah, pretty much at the start of it.
I was listening to a lot of Rogan at the time, and I was like, I need you to be a silent engineer, kind of like what Christian does. Exactly what Christian. That's what I need you to do. He could not keep his mouth shut. He said he had strong opinions. He needed to voice them, and so he got on the show, and he was messing around with like graphic design at the time, and so we're like, let's all the popular games steal their fucking fonts and make DLG out of it. So he did, and that's what you see at the beginning of the show. And a lot of those you can get as T-shirts. So Binding of Isaac as DLG, and
Not the Mortal Kombat one anymore.
no, because apparently Midway or Sega or whoever owns it now was like, hey, that's our shit.
They shut that one
DLG,
down.
you cannot have $7. So anyway, we have some cool stuff and some original stuff. There's the DLG 80s kind of retro stuff, and Poppy, the defunct character that never was. Oh, poor guy. Yeah,
Sad.
go take a look at our shop. There's some cool stuff on there.
Yep. All right, continuing with listener questions. This one comes from Warconius. Can't wait for my Steam Deck. What are your expectations of performance, and when will you use yours? Like traveling, in bed, or in the bathroom?
Well, who knows if how accurate this was? Because whatever. This is how information. You don't know the source. You don't know the motivations. But apparently, Steam said that they can't find the game on Steam. That it can't run, whatever that means, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah, exactly.
a big statement.
They did do some things with hardware that is, I believe, hasn't been done before. I believe they're putting in a lot more. I'm not going to pretend to understand what it how it works, but apparently,
More gigapixels.
yeah, more gigapixels per your gigazec, and so apparently it works. As far as where I'm going to play it, I think I'm going to get mine in December if I remember right, and I'm going to be working night shift in December and November, in January, and so it's perfect. So, I might have up to like 4 to 6 gaming hours a night, maybe. So it'd be fucking great if I could play anything. It would be fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I don't have to be playing fucking. Most of the shit I play is just a roguelike stuff. So low pixel quality, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm
You're
so
like,
excited.
Can it run Isaac? I'll
Yeah,
buy it.
I already sold my Switch, in because I don't use it ever. I only use it when I travel. Uh, but this is my jam. This is my PC on the go. Even if it sucks, it's gonna be good. That's how good it is. It's like pizza. Go ahead, Bobby.
The Steam Deck, yeah, I didn't pre-order one. I still don't think I'd have too much of a use for this, although I got a feeling it is going to be a hit. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like a game changer, but I got a feeling it's going to do pretty well. I think a lot of people are going to get it. I think it's going to perform really well. And yeah, I don't know. Nick, did you order one?
I did not order one. I'm one of those people that when it comes to something I'm not too into, I will wait until the V2 of it. Like for this, I am definitely going to be waiting on like the V2 of the Steam Deck. And then if it's like killer, I'll pick it up. But with like, I am not going to be picking up the first iteration of it. If it like on the PS5, I picked up the first version, and like when the PS5 Pro comes out in like 3 or 4 years, I'll pick up that version. But on a Steam Deck, I'm going to be waiting a little bit, and that's just me.
It seems like it's going to be hard to get one of these.
I think it's going to be bad. Do you remember the index? Like you still can't get an index. Like
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like a year or two until you're going to be able to get one of these comfortably.
Yeah, well, not if you pre-order for $5, but
yeah. I mean, is it still available for pre-order?
I don't know. I imagine you can still pre-order it, but it's going to be you'll get a much later date of shipping.
Yeah. We were talking about cars the other day, and my buddy's like, dude, I put my $100 down for this Tesla truck. It's practically paid for at this point. I'm going to, that $100 pretty much, I'm going to have really low payments. Sure, buddy. Sure. Those things are like $60,000.
He put $100 down?
Yeah, so did I, man. Everybody did. Well, anybody that was
into just to claim your spot.
Yeah, claim your spot, basically.
Okay.
That's what your $5 does. It's
Yeah.
claiming your spot.
Yep. All right. Next question from Orconius. NVIDIA GeForce now accidentally leaked some future titles for PC. Any of these get you really excited? Final Fantasy VII PC remake would be amazing. So let's bring up the list there.
Yeah, so this happened in Vietnam or something like that. Like it was an NVIDIA advertisement in Vietnam that did this. Or some shit, and definitely God of War for all my gaming, like my homies that haven't played God of War.
Halfway down, Sniper, that list.
Yeah, that's the list right there.
There you go. Yeah, so
it says Total War 9, which doesn't make sense. Whatever the fuck that means.
I mean, what's interesting about this, there's a lot of games that have not been released. So Helldivers 2, BioShock 2022. Yeah, Crisis 4. I mean,
BioShock 2022 is supposed to be a brand new BioShock. It's supposed to be in a brand new area too. It's not supposed to be Columbia or Rapture. It's supposed to be somewhere completely new.
Yeah, but I think NVIDIA said after this was leaked that things could change, or they said something like, don't get your hopes too high.
They confirmed that the list is real, but some of them are tentative. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, and Total War 9 is Total War Warhammer 3. So, yeah. Like that's super confirmed that it's coming out next year.
I don't think that's what that means, dude. I think it's probably the 9th game in their series.
That is the 9th game in the series. That's the 9th Total War game ever to be made.
Oh, okay. Really? Including all the roams and all of that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it is a lot of titles that have not been on PC before. Like, well, Bayonetta's been on PC. I take that back. Isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't Bayonetta 3 the newest one? Like the
the newest one. But I thought like Kingdom Hearts 4. Have Kingdom Hearts games been on PC? I don't think so.
I don't think so. No. And I've always wanted to play them too.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Let's fight for Middle Earth.
Maybe it's a new Lord of the Rings game with the Nemesis system. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This looks interesting, but I guess we'll just have to wait for this to actually happen.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
get-
we'll see.
Uh,
It's good to
my-
know that thing. I mean, I've said it probably 3-4 times now. It's nice to see that the winds are blowing in the direction of a lot of
Progress.
Sony games coming our way.
Yeah, they for those who don't know, they officially announced they're picking up of Blue Hole Games or whatever it's called.
Blue
The
Point.
people that make Blue Point, that's what it is. And so yeah, we're gonna be seeing pretty much a lot of their shit coming to PC. The new term that everybody the new buzzword that everybody's using is console exclusive now, where essentially the game is exclusive to this console, but it's not exclusive. I mean, it's not. That doesn't mean it's not going to come out for PC. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
As weird as
Yeah,
it
it's a
sounds.
console. It's exclusive to our console, but that doesn't mean we're not going to port it to PC.
okay. So that if it's a console exclusive for Xbox, that means it's the only console that it's going to be
Right.
available on. But they don't.
Yep.
But PC, it'll come out on eventually. So
Eventually, yeah.
okay.
Why wouldn't you want to make more money?
There's a difference between exclusively on consoles and a console exclusive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As stupid as that sounds.
I mean, it's a step in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah.
It does kind of suck that we've just been barred out of a lot of games for the longest time on PC.
People like money.
All right, Warconius also asks, Squid Games is an amazing show. If you were forced to pick one of the games, which one would you do?
This is number
Bobby,
one on
Amelia,
Netflix.
have you guys seen the show though?
No, it's number one on Netflix though.
No, I have
For
a
2
vague
weeks in a
idea of
row.
what it's about, but I have not seen the show.
Me and Leslie on episode 3. We're halfway through episode 3. She doesn't like it that much. She's only watching it because I'm watching it. It's a
Does
pretty
it-
dark show. It's Korean comedy kind of. So
Korean
like it a lot.
comedy?
Korean dark comedy.
essentially, yeah, that's all Korean comedy is. Dark
What are
comedy.
some of the games?
Have you ever heard of Red Light Green Light?
Yeah.
The first game they play is Red Light Green Light, and if you move, you get shot in the heart with a nice 223 round and die. And so in the first episode, a lot of people panic and a lot of people die.
Is it like a game show?
As far as the
or
other game, huh?
It's like a game show or the whole populace?
So I'm not going to ruin too much of the show for you, but everybody that's playing this game has immense debts, and we're talking anywhere from over $150,000 to $2.3 million, to the point where they can't feasibly pay their debts. And in Korea, it is I shouldn't say very common, but it is common to sign what is called a personal body clause, where you can sign away your body parts and organs to pay your debts, such as your eyes or your kidneys or your testicles or your anything, your hair, like your scalp, like whatever the fuck you want to donate.
How much do you
to
get
pay
for
for
your
your
body
debts.
parts?
Bobby's intrigued, and Sniper's always fact checking Nick. It's fucking great.
Well,
It's part of the fucking show, all right?
okay, this is
Warhammer 3 is the 15th title, by the way. Just
Yeah,
before you
see
take
what
it
I'm
to the
talking
start.
about? Do you see what I'm talking about? You're off the podcast, dude. I'm done. I'm done with you.
okay.
Anyways,
So-
in the,
so
in
this
the
is
show,
happening within
everybody
the show.
everybody that's in the game show has immense debts or
it's
they're
Running
criminal.
Kinda like Running
And so what happens is anytime anyone's eliminated, 100 million won, which is like, I don't know the
Doesn't
conversion,
matter.
but
Doesn't matter.
is now added to the prize pool. And they play a game every day for a week. And whoever lives at the end gets the money. Now, I'm only on episode 3, and I've only seen one fucking game. I think there's 10 episodes. I don't know.
It seems counterproductive to kill the people that owe you money.
So
wow.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. The organization that's running it, I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
But whoever dies, if everyone dies or the games are called off because the participants have a way to stop the games from continuing, they can all vote to stop. Whoever has died, their family gets sent 100 million won. And so essentially their families get a life insurance policy if they decide to vote the game off.
Yeah, dude.
And so they have some pretty like redeeming quality characters. Like there's a character who's a foreign worker. I think he's from Pakistan. I think, because they don't really outright say it. And in his situation, he's a foreign worker and he's consistently being taken advantage of by his boss because his boss hasn't paid him in 6 months. And because of that, he owes money to everybody. And so he has to participate in the show because he owes money. And morally, he's not a bad person whatsoever. He's just being taken advantage of.
Okay, so these are people who owe money just to random people, not
Exactly, not to this organization at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
The organization is essentially just a bunch of gore perverts that are running this organization. But the way that the show opens up, the way that the show presents the situation, the way that the show explains everything, and the backstory and it's like 6 different stories running at once because it explains the backstories for a bunch of characters and their motives, and it sets up essentially who you're rooting for because there's like 6 main characters that you're rooting for.
Do you like it?
I love it. And like I said, I love Korean comedy. I loved Parasite. I thought that movie was amazing. I think it deserved all the awards that it won. And I'm going to continue watching
Squid Game.
I have some questions about the business side of this, but
Well,
I
it
don't
makes
want to get
sense,
into
dude,
it.
because the promoters are making money off of whoever's watching it.
So
It seems like they're paying out more money than they're making.
Oh,
In the first episode, there's a part where the promoter speaks English, like exclusively speaks English. There's like a head promoter, right? And it seems like he's streaming the game
to the whole world,
to other televisions. So like I said, it seems like whatever's going on, there's like some gore perverts that are watching what's going on. And so people are being killed, or some unwantables, people that are owing debts, are being killed for the entertainment of others, while the possibility of their debts being paid are just a minor inconvenience to them.
Yeah, it totally makes sense to me. I mean, business-wise.
You think there would be something, like if somebody owed you money, you'd have some insurance against them going on the game show, because
you can't control a person.
No. So it's by the way, the game show is all secret. No one knows about it.
Okay.
These people
It's like
are
Guns
kidnapped.
Akimbo, I feel like. A little bit. Like it's
So just watch the first episode, Bobby. We'll talk about it next week. All right.
All right. Last question.
I promise you'll like it.
Okay. Doubtful.
Watch it not in your flooded apartment. Watch it with your girlfriend.
Okay. Last question from Kurd the Ape. He says, or he asks, how is Jocko?
That's funny that you asked that, man. I haven't talked about Jocko on the podcast in a while. I mean, I just yelled at him. It wasn't his fault. Somebody let him into the garage when I have the garage door open. But anyways, I have an Australian cattle dog. He is a red, not a blue. Who's actually red. Blues are not blue, but there you go. Dogs. He hates the fact that Luna exists. And this has happened throughout my life with my friends, and I saw it coming, and it's almost a caricature of human beings. So a lot of my friends started having kids later in life, early 30s, which is late, Our parents all did it in their early 20s. And so there was like I'm going to be generalizing here. I'm going to do some stereotypes. A lot of the females in the relationship had they wanted to be maternal, blah, blah, blah. So that they got a dog, big fights about getting a dog, stuff like that. This is happening over a lot of people, not all my friends. So they all got dogs. And then as soon as the first baby was born in their early 30s, the dog is just kicked to the side. No more love. Like it's the focal point of the family until the first kid is, and then you just don't have time. And so anyway, he watches Luna through the window and he plots her demise. He doesn't bite her or anything. She actually loves him. It's the first word out of her mouth. It was her second word, Jocko. And it's probably the first word out of her mouth every morning, like Jocko? And so, we go downstairs, and as soon as Jocko's walking around, but she doesn't know that he hates her. And that's true. There's no way that he couldn't. We were best buds, and then now I just don't have time for him, you know? So, yeah, it sucks. It's an unfortunate side effect of having kids late in life. Although, I do like the idea that she's about to be, she's going to be 2. She's like 18 months. 19 months, something like that. And that's going to be her dog when she talks about, later in life. If he lasts 14 years like he's supposed to, they're going to spend a good amount of her like child life together, and she's going to always remember him, which is, something special. So I really like that idea that's going to be her first dog. And also, it's a good way to introduce death into a person's life. It sucks. I had one friend who went his entire life. He was like 31 before somebody important died in his life. And like, it was so traumatic. He hadn't talked to anybody for a month. It was his grandma. And he just never had death. And me, I grew up with death. And like Mila, she has a ton of death in her life. And so like, it's almost like a normal thing for her. And so the earlier it's introduced, the better it is. Not to say like I want my dog to die, but anyway, I'm getting off into the weeds. Jocko's great, and he's a good dog.
All right.
All right, shut up.
Well, you're over here like it's important to introduce your kids to a lot of death.
As someone with
early
a soul and a heart, I feel you, man.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Dude.
So if you have a small child, just make sure to kill off your grandparents.
If you gotta choke their goldfish to death, do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna last long anyway.
Just put it in a Kimura and just watch the life drain out of its eyes.
Give them a fucking bug assault and introduce them to death. God, I would love them as a sponsor. Bug assault, fucking fireworks and shit. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Can we get a sponsor that we just totally don't deserve?
How about let's just get a sponsor?
Keeps.
Oh yeah, I was saying it. What's McDonald's stopping us from saying you're loving it? Like they can't. We could just pretend.
I mean, lawsuits.
Why would they? It's extra advertising for them. Anyway,
Are they still using that slogan?
no, dude. That's what makes it funny, Bobby.
Okay.
God damn
Well,
it.
I don't know, dude.
Sniper could probably get us a
I didn't know
sponsor.
that
He's
a family
pretty
could spend $50
resourceful
at McDonald's
and
last
knows
week.
people.
I don't know. McDonald's and
And has
families, those are
friends.
2 areas that I'm not familiar with.
It's true.
All right, what's everyone playing next week besides New World?
Oh,
Mm,
you
more
just took the wind out
Phasmophobia.
of the sails, dude. We're like, well, we're all gonna play New World, and then you took that away.
More Phasmophobia, Hunt Showdown, New World. That's it.
Magic the Gathering is always on my list, obviously. New World, I can't even say. I don't have anything that's like, yeah, more New World. So skip next week if you're not gonna play New World because it's gonna be a New World heavy episode.
Oh boy.
I do have a new segment that I'm coming in for next week. As for RNG with DLG, the last 2 weeks we haven't been doing it because of scheduling issues as well as some time restraints. But the show should be coming back either this week or next week. So keep an ear out for that, for the announcements, and possibly seeing it on YouTube as well. So
What happened with the bit that you had for us?
well, it doesn't look like we have time for it.
Yeah,
We're
we'll
running
do
a
it
little
next week.
long.
Yeah,
Huh?
we'll do it next week.
Oh, we'll just do it next week. I got it all written out, so we're good.
All right, cool.
All right. All right. Well, I'll see what my laptop can handle. Maybe I'll play Beavertown or whatever. Or, who
Hell
knows?
yeah.
Beaverton. Is it Beaverton or Beavertown?
It's definitely not Beavertown, dude.
We
There's
gotta
no
bring
way
back,
it's
movies on the
Beavertown.
DL so we can talk about the Mario movie cast announcements.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. All right, speaking for all these buffoons and myself, I did New World titties last year. Last episode. So Beavertown tits, guys. I mean, it's full of them. All right, bye. Dun, 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 da, 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 da.
Beaverton is the onion for Canada.
The Onion?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Onion newspaper, like the fake.
Okay.
I think they have their own subreddit, right?
I feel like Bobby doesn't know what the onion
I
is.
feel like you know everything
Well, I
about
know
it.
the Onion.
Oh, okay.